What's happening, guys? Uncle Nick here, and it is down to the wire with training for the Arnold. I'm in my last week of training, but turns out I'm not the only one from the gym competing this year because the DiRTY is doing the Dinny stones. What? What? What?
Where is that?
What are Dinny stones?
What does that even mean?
I don't know, but they're about to be dirty.
The DiRTY stones.
The DiRTY stones. So yeah, it's pretty cool that we got someone from here doing like one of the most historical lifts in strongman or Highland games, just in strength sports in general. It's pretty cool. If you don't know what the Dinny stones are, they are two unevenly weighted boulders with rings attached to them, and you basically it's like somewhere between a sumo deadlift and a Jefferson deadlift. It's pretty odd looking, but it is just an awesome feat of just raw strength. I mean, they have a strap division and then a just raw, nothing, no straps, no aid and gripping division. That's what Andy is doing. He is not doing any of the straps because he keeps it dirty. This is kind of like my speed week. I'm ramping down, hit comp weight stuff the last week or so. So I'm ramping down. I'm not doing anything exciting, just doing some speed on deadlifts, like 50-55%, some conditioning this week, and some assistance, and that's really what it comes down to. Dialing in stuff, making everything the same at an even lighter weight, finalizing my game plan of everything I want to accomplish and do in regards to the actual game day. So this last week of training for me is really more of checking off the boxes than actually trying to get stronger or anything of that nature, because I don't want to push too hard and just dig myself into a hole. I really want the deload to count. I really want to come in fresh, no pain, no injury, and this is kind of like my last chance of training to iron the wrinkles out. So that's what I'm doing. But Andy, your first Arnold appearance, what does that... I mean, you've been to the Arnold.
I've appeared like 10 times.
Yeah. So being on the main stage, not as a coach, but as a competitor, where's your head at? Where was your head at when you got like the invite?
So it was last Tuesday, 2 Tuesdays ago. Yeah, 2 Tuesdays ago. So I guess a little under 2 weeks ago. It happened. I was at work, and then that was the most nervous I've ever been for myself as far as strongman or really any type of competition. I mean, I've competed all my life. I've done 40 plus strongman shows, amateur level, low stuff, whatever. But like, I would always get anxious and nervous, but like this was a whole nother level. This was like as nervous as I get when my daughters are playing softball, or like when they did cheer. So when they would do a cheer competition, like I was out of my mind anxious, and that's kind of how I was on Tuesday. Like when I'm traveling with Brian for Worlds or or the Arnold, I'm that anxious, but it was never that way for myself. And I was like, man, this is next level. So just kind of interesting that I've been there a few times. I don't know, I guess 10 times helping Brian, 9, 10 times. I don't remember what it is. And Steve Slater sent me a message the other day. And he was like, man, you've been there, you've been on that stage enough time, it's about damn time you're able to compete. I was like, well, that pretty much sums it up.
What has training been like? Because, I mean, it wasn't really a heads up. So you haven't had much time to prepare. We did a little simulation with loading pins and plates, doing that. And you actually tore a callus. Yeah. Because the rings really pinpoint a spot in your hand, because they're only like that big around. And they're not very big like in diameter. So it doesn't allow you to get your whole hand in there on the peak of the ring. So it kind of bunches your hand up and puts it in a very uncomfortable position. And he actually tore a callus doing it. What's your game plan with training, since it was kind of last minute out of the blue?
So when I found out, February 2nd, so about a month out from the show, I found out I went right on Iron Mind and overnighted rings. Not cheap to do. So I got the rings. They're both 4.5 inches, which is the diameter of the light stone. The heavy stone is 7 inches, so it's a little easier on the grip, but nobody makes a 7-inch ring. So I just went with the 4.5s. And last Saturday, yeah, I worked up to contest weight or whatever, a little under on the heavy stone. And the initial pull just ripped my callus, and that was pretty devastating. in this scheme of things, because I thought it's done. Because when I rip a callus, that's like a 4-week, 5-week heal. Just because it's a horrible spot, it just keeps opening up. So
you've been injecting stem cells directly into your hand, right?
I've been eating stem cells.
Okay. Umbilical cords.
I've been snorting plasma-rich platelets. I've been licking.
What have you been licking, Andy?
I don't know.
Andy, what have you been licking? You dirty bastard.
No, but it's just keeping it clean, keeping a Band-Aid on Neosporin, and it's healed. I'd say it's probably 90%. Deadlifting last Monday, so 2 days after it happened, I was deadlifting with one strap to kind of save it, and that just felt, strapping on a deadlift just feels stupid to me. So I was like, well, I got to go without. So I pulled without a strap on my top set and just kind of went from there. But yeah, just kind of working around it. There's with this such a short amount of time, there's really nothing aside from trying to simulate, and then I got hurt simulating. So there's really nothing I can do. So it's just one of those things where it's like, if I had to pick one thing that I'm good at is, and it's the dumbest thing, right? Because like picking up something heavy and just standing there is not entertaining. It's not fun. It's not fun to do. It's not entertaining to watch. Any holds where you're just standing there, like a Hercules hold or a farmer's hold, like those are my best events, but like they're dumb. I'm not gonna lie. They're dumb to watch. They're dumb to do. So this is kind of
I mean, we're kind of biased in that opinion because I got knocked out and my skull split open.
Oh yeah, that.
He got smacked in the back of the head. So we have a very knee-jerk reaction when it comes to hating Hercules holds.
But I'm good at it. It's like that's one of the things, like if I had to pick like an event, it's like, oh, just hold on to stuff with my bare hands and hold for the longest and you'll be fine. So this kind of like worked out, you know. Jan Todd reached out to Brian. Like that's the only reason I'm doing this. No doubt about it. I don't put anything out to get like a social media presence as far as getting some steam.
He's a
like,
ghost.
oh hey. Yeah, I don't do that stuff. I'm a grown ass man. But comment below.
Hashtag I'm a grown ass man.
But like this is an opportunity based on who I know, and there's no two ways about it. Like I'm not making excuses. I'm not being like, oh, I deserve to be there. I don't deserve to be there because nobody knows who I am. But because of who I know, I get this opportunity. And there's a saying. And I'm blanking on who said it. Might have been a Mark Twain thing. I don't know, but no, not Mark Twain. Dang.
I don't think it matters.
Edit this out.
Comment below.
Google it, and then put it in the words on the thing as I'm talking about
This is all going to be in there.
Damn it. So a great man once said, luck is where preparation meets opportunity.
Elliot, you know who said that quote? Who said it?
It was the philosopher Seneca.
So it wasn't Mark Twain.
It wasn't Mark Twain.
He may have said it.
He said it at one point, I'm sure.
It might have been Johnny Cash.
I mean, it's a cool ass quote, so.
Might have been Benjamin Franklin.
Could have been. But nah, I think George Washington.
Yeah, maybe.
Or Pocahontas.
Nope. Probably wasn't.
Colors of the Wind.
Maybe didn't speak English.
This is my opportunity because I know Brian. I'm prepared to pick up stupid things and hold on to it. So yeah, I'm lucky. I'm lucky for who I know. I'm lucky for what I get to do. I'm not delusional like, oh, I earned this, I deserve. No, I don't deserve this. I don't earn it. I didn't earn this. Like, I'm competing against Mark Felix and Terry Hollins. Like, let that sink in. Like, 2 finalists for World's Strongest Man, and I'm competing with them. Ooh, I've won a couple local amateur shows. Like, you know, there's no delusion that it's like, oh, you get to do this. You've earned. No, I didn't. I'm not. You know, I'm not one of those guys that are like, oh, I paid my dues. Well, I guess I paid my dues, but like I didn't earn this. This is an opportunity, and I'm not going to pass it up. I apologize for anybody out there with good grip that's done the Dinny Stones and can hold on to them for 20 plus seconds. I took your spot. I'm going to try and like make you proud for having this normal guy having this opportunity. Fortunate enough to compete against Mark Felix and Terry Hollins on like the pinnacle of manhood stones on earth. I mean, maybe the inverse stone, maybe the Husefeld stone, but like as far as manhood stones, like the Dinnies, God, they're kind of, just because of the the verified written history, I guess. I guess we're coming up on 160 years of that. I mean, the Husafeld stone has more history, but there's not a lot written. The inverse stone kind of similar.
So basically, the Dinny stones have a lot more of a paper trail.
Yeah,
for history accountability.
There's a website that has all the lifts listed, all the unassisted and assisted. I think you were talking about that a little earlier.
Yeah.
All of the assisted and unassisted carries to carry it the length of the bridge in Scotland, which is a little over 17 feet, I guess. I think 4 people have done the full carry. But yeah, this is like, as far as like a manhood stone, I don't know that there's a more famous set or a more famous manhood stone.
You saying there's no more famous pair of stones out there than?
Nope. This is the most famous set of rocks, stones. Yeah, so they're gonna be over at Rogue on Thursday. So when we go over there, I'm gonna take all my gear, I'm gonna chalk up, and I'm gonna give it a go, see if my hand holds up, knocking on wood that it does, and that the pick won't feel bad, because once I get it picked, I'll be able to stand there. That's not an issue, I don't think. So we'll just kind of see how it plays out next week.
You're just gonna deload next week, just take.
Yeah.
Rest
and then
up.
I'm leaving early Thursday morning, so hitting the road early Thursday morning to drive to Columbus. So yeah, I'll just kind of pull today, press a little tomorrow, screw around on Saturday, screw around on Thursday, just kind of go with the flow.
Well, we're super proud of you, super stoked for you.
Yeah, hopefully it goes well.
It's awesome to see someone who is a good coach, so knowledgeable, and has been the man behind the gun for 10 years now, finally able to do something he's good at. So in that aspect of what he brings to the table as a coach, I absolutely think he deserves it. He finally gets a moment up on that stage, in the ring, getting to compete with the best in the world, because, I mean, he gets to coach one of the best ever. So to say he doesn't deserve it is an understatement as far as any one of us here sees it. And if anyone thinks anything differently than that, then you just don't know Andy.
And I like it that way. I'm glad that that's the case. Let's keep it that way.
But I can honestly say I'm more stoked to see him up on the main stage than I am to compete in my own competition. I think I'm super excited for him nonetheless. So I'm going to be making a lot of noise and try and film it with my camera shaking all over the place while I'm yelling at the top of my lungs. So I'm super stoked for that.
Should be fun.
Absolutely. All right, so I really just wanted to bring you guys up to speed on everything that's going on, and I think the news with Andy being on the big stage is incredible. It is awesome. I'm super excited. He's super excited, even though he seems kind of mellow about it. I know he's excited. I mean, he's been the man behind the gun, like I said before, for a very long time for Brian Shaw. He's always helped me and Brian Alsher here at Never Sate. He's always been a big, influential piece of knowledge here at the gym, and we're extremely fortunate to have him. Now we are just doing everything we can to support him on his day on the big stage, because he deserves nothing less. I don't care what he says, he absolutely deserves it. He's put a lot of time and a lot of effort into this sport, whether competing in amateur shows or being a coach for one of the best guys in the world. We're wishing him the best of luck. That's really about all I got for you guys on this video. It was just, everything was low key, and he worked up some heavy deadlifts. I was just doing speed, every minute on the minute type stuff, nothing really worth showing. I'm ramping down, backing off the pedal, so I can really get the most out of my deloads starting Thursday. I'm gonna be doing something very similar with my log on Wednesday, maybe a little bit more conditioning, but there will be a video later in the week. I will bring you guys up to speed on some stuff going on with Miles. Keep an eye out for that on my channel. Brian will be talking about it as well. Two very different things, but keep an eye out for that, because it's very exciting stuff, and I can't wait to tell you guys the news, but it's going to be awesome. Until the next time, you guys know what the deal is. Get out there, get after it, and embrace the suck.